This is the brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max. You can see the dynamic island at the top. I have this in this new purple color, which honestly, depending on the angle you're looking at it, it could look gray or even black. But anyways, if you want to show off your brand new phone, you typically go get a clear case. Problem is, Apple sells this for about 50 bucks. So what I did, I went on Amazon and literally bought every single clear case By the way, my name is Sean. This is my tech channel where I do unboxing reviews and tutorials of different tech stuff like this. If you think you would enjoy these videos, please consider subscribing. And when you hit the bell notification, don't forget to change that to all, because that's the only way you'll be notified for all my future videos. With that out of the way, I got a couple of housekeeping items I wanted to mention. Number one, this video is gonna be long. Doesn't matter how I slice it, it's gonna be long. I have 30 cases. Even if I spend 30 seconds on each, that's already 50 minutes long. If you don't have Amazon Prime, I'm gonna drop a link that you can sign up for a trial membership, so that way you don't have to pay for shipping, and hopefully you're gonna get a lower price. And then finally, making this video takes a very, very long time, as you can imagine, from beginning to the end. So if you wanna support me, the least you can do is hit that like button. So some of these cases, they don't have a name, or they have just a very bizarre name. So I'm not gonna say the name of the cases unless they're somewhat of a famous case on Amazon. Besides that, I'm just gonna refer to them as case number 1, 2, 3, and all the way up to 30. Let's get started. We're gonna start with case number 0. This is the Apple case, and this is gonna be our baseline. This is the one that we all know is very expensive. It's 50 bucks, but the fit and finish is really nice. You do have the MagSafe ring, but the buttons are not clicky, and you do have a decent amount of protection all the way around the screen and the camera, but I'm not a big fan of this opening at the bottom because that could also easily get scratched. Case number 1, flexible, very snug fit that I like. You have these small air bubbles on the corner, so I do like that protection. All the 4 edges on these two, or actually these 3 edges, it is raised a little bit to even protect this surface right here. So that I really like. The buttons are very clicky, and I do like this. Case number 2. This is one of the more expensive one at $23.99. It better be nice. So this has the MagSafe ring and it has a kickstand. Right off the bat, I could tell you I like the kickstand because it has this opening right here on the side. A little bit flexible. Seems thicker than the last one. Very snug fit. Feels very solid. Protection around the camera, very beefy. Lip around the screen, very beefy. The buttons are clicky, and I do like this, but almost 24 bucks. Case number 3, basic shell, good snug fit. You have these small raised legs on these 3 sides, which again, I'm a big fan of these, but it is not very pronounced. Nonetheless, you have that. Camera protection is good, screen protection is good. Honestly, I'm not mad. For $8.50, this is good if you just want basic shell. Case number 4. This one's 15 bucks. Basic shell. Definitely it feels sturdier than the last one we looked at. The back is very, very solid. Again, similar raised 3 corners. The buttons are clicky, and you have actually a decent amount of protection around the screen. This is probably the most raised lip I have seen so far. Real quick, I'm gonna have a shameless plug of the batteries that I sell on Amazon. These are Enforcer MagSafe battery packs. You have 2 different options. You can get them just the battery and a carrying pouch, or the battery and an 18-watt brick. Basically what these will do, this is a basic power bank, except because it uses MagSafe magnets, it attaches to the phone and it starts charging immediately. The magnet is super strong. You can have this start charging and then just drop this in your purse, in your car, in your pocket, and it will continue to charge. You do have this kickstand as well for the convenience. Now, while we're talking about cases, if a case does not have MagSafe ring, this is not gonna hold. So it would only work with no case or with a case that has MagSafe ring. This is case number 5, almost 22 bucks. So you get a bunch of stickers, snug fit, Couple of air bubbles on the side to give you that added protection. The buttons are clicky, good protection around the cameras. You have small, very, very subtle raised edges. So when you set this down, it is gonna sit up and it's not gonna scratch the back. Case number 6. This one is $21. This is also a MagSafe clear case. Snug fit. This has a very beefy camera protection bump. This is a unique implementation of other cases I've seen. So this area right here, the 4 edges are also raised as well, similar to what we saw on the edges of these corners on some of the other cases. However, this is all flat right here, but a very beefy protection around the camera. Probably the best one I've seen so far. You have these small air bubbles on the sides. They're supposed to help a little bit, but who knows. The buttons, very satisfying and very clicky. Let's test this real quick. This lip, because it's so thick, it's actually pushing down on this a little bit, so it does not create as secure of a grip. Next, we have 3 cases from ESR. The first one is Esr Classic. This is just under $20. It's a basic shell with MagSafe. ESR's camera bump protection has a very unique design that they kind of like have this at an angle on one side, and they have the branding right here. But anyways, air bubbles at the corners. I do like very small branding on this one side. The buttons very clicky. Camera protection very beefy, just above the lens level. It does not have these raised corners like some of the other cases, but that's pretty much it. Let's test this. Next one is Esr Metal Kickstand. So just like the last case, but instead of the MagSafe, you get their kickstand. Good level of resistance, so you can set it at any angle you want. You have this opening down here for lifting. Besides that, the shell is flexible, air bubbles on the corner, and the same unique design for their camera housing. Very snug fit. Interesting screen protection. So you actually have 4 raised lips on the screen side, so when you lay down, it actually keeps it higher than some of the other cases. The buttons are clicky, and I do like this. Next is Esr Classic Kickstand, a very different take. So check this out. So you got the protection obviously on the corners, flexible, no MagSafe, but check out this housing right here. This actually acts as the kickstand, like that. Very, very unique approach. Very snug fit. Same 4 raised corners on the screen side. I like this too. Interesting. And you have a good amount of resistance in the spring, so it looks like you can set it at whatever angle you like. Number 10. So this is the first pack we had that comes with screen protector. Definitely that is a huge plus. So a very different take. You have a very angular shape to this instead of having round corners, but it definitely seems very, it does seem very beefy. Like I said, a very different take, a very angular design and approach, but nonetheless, you have good amount of protection in the front and in the back. Number 11, MKK. This one is 1804. Should be a basic shell, but I could tell you right off the bat, this has the chunkiest corner or edge protections we have seen so far. So if you're concerned about that, this has some very, very beefy, not only edges, but this entire back end and top end, it actually comes up. So this will give you a good amount of protection from top and bottom drops from what I can see. Number 12, 13, and 14 are from Taurus, if I say the name right. This first one's called Moon Climber. I think this is the most expensive in the list. So you get a kickstand. That's it. Probably for the price, you can definitely get something better, but it's a basic shell, clicky buttons, very subtle raised lip right here. For $27.53, it seems a little steep. This one's called Diamond, $18.95 with coupon. This is a basic shell with no MagSafe, no kickstand. It's a good looking basic shell, nothing special about it. So as you're going through the video, look for other basic shells if that's what you're after. Looks like you have these big air bubbles, kind of like on the edges to help absorb some of the impact. But besides that, it's just a basic shell. Next one by the same company. It's called Crystal. This one's $15.19. So the least expensive of the three. This is a much thinner shell with almost like no beefy protection. So if you want a very thin, I think this is the thinnest we have tested so far. Very, very thin. A little bit of a lip protection. You have these four edges actually raised on the screen side, and in the back it's just flat, and you got this chunky protection right here. For a very basic, very thin shell, I actually do like this one. Number 15, the famous Spigen. This one is $13.29. Basic shell. This may be an identical shell as the last one. You just have Spigen branding on this side right here. So if this and the last ones are identical or extremely similar, I would go with the Spigen instead of Taurus. $13.29. Number 16. This one is basic shell, but it, as you can see, it's sturdier than the last two we looked at. So a little bit more protection, but nothing crazy. But I definitely could tell that the back is stronger. Number 17. This is probably the fanciest of all. All this for $16.19. Oh my. What do we have here? Installation kit. Lens protectors. So you get 2 screen protectors, 2 lens protectors, and then you get a bunch of stickers. So it's a basic shell, a little bit flexible. I like this cutout look right here. The edges are not raised. The corners seem chunky enough. The camera protection, I like that. It doesn't have any fancy raised edges on either of the sides. But for, what was it, 16 bucks or so to get 2 screen protectors, 2 lens protectors, and the case, this seemed like a really good deal, honestly. Number 18. Why is this 25 bucks? It's a basic shell. If the price of 25 bucks is correct, don't bother with this. That's why I do this, so you don't have to. This one is on the cheaper side, $11.69. This is case number 19. It's a solid basic shell, couple of air bubbles on the side. You have very subtle raised legs on these 4 corners, on the back, and on the front. Okay, for 11, 20, 12 bucks, that's not bad. Just above average protection. Again, I'm a big fan of these raised edges, even for the back as well. Number 20, this case is about 20 bucks. Oh, is this the one that I got the colored one by accident and not the clear one? Yes. I'm sorry, this is the only not truly clear case I got, even though I really intended to, but I figured while I have it, at least I'll show it to you guys. But it actually does look nice. This is in their purple color. You have this matte finish in the back, but you can still see the Apple logo. And you get good protection here. The back is all the way flat. The buttons are clicky. And you have a simple raised lip all the way around the front. So yeah, here's a frosted one for you. Number 21, only 10 to go. This one is $10.11 with the coupon at the time I ordered it. Very basic shell, very, very beefy corner. So if you want a basic shell with some solid edge protection, I mean, visually you can see how big and beefy these edges are. Not bad for the price. I do recommend this if you want to stay on the cheaper side and have a beefy option. $16.14, case number 22. We got a MagSafe case, and I think this may be the least expensive MagSafe option we had. Very snug fit. It does not have any fancy raised lip. It's extremely subtle. The buttons are clicky. And this is officially the least expensive case in the group. This is case number 23. And it is $5.24. This is as thin as it gets. This basically is for scratch protection rather than drop protection, to be honest with you. $5. come and get it. Nothing fancy about it. You do have raised lip, raised lip right here for the camera protection as well. Number 24, this one is $14.79. So first of all, you do get screen protector and you have a ring, but it's a very, very basic shell. Snug fits. It's actually, the sides are frosted, which I kind of like. You can use this as a kickstand as well. This isn't bad. You get your screen protector, you get a basic shell, you get a ring. I'm not a big ring fan myself. I like a regular kickstand. Plus, when you have something like this, you're not going to be able to use MagSafe or any kind of like wireless charging. So that's the downside of having these built-in rings. Number 25, $11.69. And believe it or not, this thing does not even have a name. Looks like it's the same identical case, but without the screen protector. $11.69. So if you don't want the screen protector, you only want this. These two are literally identical. You have the frosted sides and this in the back. So if you don't want the screen protector, this is $11.69. So you save yourself $3. This side, it kind of sits up a little bit, so I don't like this. So, and I may have felt it on the last one too. So number 24 and 25, I do not like their fit, so I would not recommend it. This is Wilbur, number 26, $10.79. Basic shell, not on the softer side, very snug fit. You do have 4 somewhat pronounced raised lip on the screen side, and same thing on the back side. And a couple of air bubbles on the side, so just an average level of protection at a really good price. $10.79. This is another one with no name at $12.99. Very, very soft shell, but it has some decent protection on the 4 corners. The fit is good actually. Buttons are clicky. Again, the highlight is just the edge protection for this. Number 28. This is Simtech Kickstand. Sturdy shell kickstand. It does not have any raised edges on either side, but good amount of protection all the way around. Probably a couple millimeters, and same thing for the camera. This is also by Simtech. This is case number 29, $18.69. Well, first of all, let's take a look at the shell first. So it's the same shell as the last one, except it does not have the kickstand. So we know about the shell, but looks like you have these inserts that it's very thin. It's so thin that probably you can just slide it right here. Now you have a way to carry your phone. This is a genius idea, and you get a couple different size bands. $18.69, and looks like you get 2 of these flaps. And number 30, this is Humix. There you go. So it looks like we had another 5-in-1. That was, I think, maybe number 17. That was $16.19. So it looks like it's the same package, maybe rebranded differently. So if it's the same thing, I would recommend to go with number 17 instead of 30. Yeah, go with number 17 instead of 30. You'll save yourself a couple of bucks. So this has been it. I know you probably want me to tell you which one is the best case. Honestly, it is extremely subjective, so I'm not going to waste your time to try to give you my opinion, because I literally have to go back and think about it for a very long time. But feel free to go back and forth. I'm going to put the timeline to all the different cases down in the description below, so you guys can check it out. Good luck, but if you decided to buy one of these cases, let me know which one did you end up getting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.